Yeah, Nancy Pelosi will not run for re-election. Did you hear me? She will not run for re-election. What do you mean she won't run again? But she's only 85 years old, which is practically a baby by the swamp's standards. Maybe, just maybe it's because she says things like this.
He's just a vile creature. The worst thing on the face of the earth. But anyway.
You think he's the worst thing on the face of the earth?
I do, yeah. I do.
Why is that?
Because he's the president of the United States and he does not honor the Constitution of the United States. In fact, he's turned the Supreme Court into a rogue court. He's abolished the House of Representatives.
She looks good, huh? I'm just kidding. 37 years in office and $267 million of net worth later, is Nancy finally throwing in the towel? The mastermind of January 6th, the Grim Reaper of speeches. Is it possible she'll just walk out before she has to be wheeled out? Say it ain't so. Say what you want about Hillary Clinton failing to break the glass ceiling not once, but twice, or Kamala Harris failing to DEI her way into the Oval Office. I think that Nancy Pelosi broke barriers, albeit in the opposite direction. Few have gone lower, and I'm not just talking about that hole Nancy dug all the way to China.
When I was a little girl, I was told at the beach if I dug a hole deep enough, we would reach China. So we've always felt a connection there.
Actually a metaphor for our financial standing. Keep digging the hole, China will bail us out. Keep digging, Nance. But seriously, aside from her deep admiration for the Chinese Communist Party and their ways,
China is one of the freest societies in the world. Don't take it from me. That's from Freedom House.
Let's talk a little bit.
Democracy, courageous people.
China, one of the freest societies, she says. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Muslim Uyghurs don't feel that way, Nance. Or how about the people who were locked inside a building during COVID? Remember that? Or the people being controlled through digital IDs? But aside from her deep love and respect and admiration for a perpetual human rights violator, China, and a country that would prefer to wipe us off the map, Pelosi really has maintained that classless, deep state corrupt demeanor the whole way through, hasn't she?
Nancy Pelosi became rich.
Why do you have to read that? We're here to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid. That's what I agreed to come to talk about.
But I wanted
what that means in the election.
I wanted to give you a chance just to respond. He accused you of insider trading. What's your response to that?
That's ridiculous. In fact, I very much support the stop the trading of members of Congress. Not that I think anybody's doing anything wrong. If they are prosecuted and they go to jail. But because of the confidence it instills in the American people, don't worry about this. But I have no concern about the obvious investments that have been made over time. I'm not into it. My husband is, but it isn't anything to do with anything insider.
Sure, Jan. Looking back, that July interview seems like one of the turning points in Pelosi's career. Losing it on the air with Jake Tapper, unable to calmly and coolly defend her crimes, that was the beginning of the end. But Nancy hasn't been ready to step down, not before betraying the president, which she did in the most coup of ways with gusto, right after claiming that he was super sharp, of course.
So I think that, again, age is an objective fact. As I say, it's all relative. He's younger than I am, so what do I have to say about his age? But he is, again, knowledgeable, wise. Experience is so important. So Joe Biden has vision. He has knowledge. He has a strategic thinker. This is a very sharp president.
Well, experience is so important, Nancy, which is why just days after that, you snapped at a reporter for doing her job, clearly not one of the reporters on your party's payroll, because she dared to be practical and use actual journalism.
Do you believe that him waiting so long to make this decision?
I'm not going to make any comments in the hallway about the fate of our nation. Okay?
Are you concerned whether or not he can win in November?
I think he can win.
Do you believe he should run for re-election?
I'm not speaking English to you. I'm not going to be making any statements about any of that right now in the hallway.
Except she didn't think Joe could run again, so she ousted him and put someone else, someone even less qualified, in the position to run for president. The fact that Nancy Pelosi actually supported a mentally compromised president and then supported one of the least qualified candidates in our history tells you everything you need to know about Ms. Pelosi. Speaking of coup, and speaking of insurrection, one of Nancy's favorite words, She, together with her comrades Schumer, Jeffries, and Harris, threatened Biden with the 25th Amendment if he didn't step down from the nomination. I do believe that's potentially called criminal blackmail, maybe extortion under the law. I don't know, maybe not. But she hyped Joe and then ousted him just days later. Oh, and by the way, the trend of Nancy hyping up imbecile Democrat continues. In case you were wondering, watch.
It's clear that this governor has a vision for our country. He has knowledge of our country and our state. The state of California, the fourth largest economy in the world. Gavin manages that way, with great dignity. He has strategic thinking about how to get things done, and that is what has brought us together here.
They're all hypocrites. They're all awful. And just while we're here reminding Nancy of some of her failings, not all, otherwise we'd be here all day, Pelosi staged January 6th and then rejected President Trump's offer for National Guard support, which is why this post is one of the most blatant and outrageous lies ever to leave her lips. And that's saying something. And that also explains why she lost her mind when she was asked about it again just the other day.
Congresswoman Pelosi, are you at all concerned that the new January 6th committee will find you liable for that day? Are you at all concerned about the new January 6th committee finding you liable for that day? Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
That's a fair question. Shut up. Shut up. Look, if you can't walk down the steps of Congress, you shouldn't be a congresswoman. Just is it me? Oh, and I mean old walk, not handicap walk. I mean old. Oh, and just a friendly reminder that Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats put America through the trauma of a presidential impeachment a couple times just because Donald Trump wanted to investigate crimes for which Joe Biden ended up pardoning his own son, Hunter. All in, Nancy, I'd say you did your party right by carrying out an illustrious career of lies, corruption, control, and making money off the backs of hard-working American people. That is the quintessential Democrat leader. Folks, I'll leave you with this, because after helping to orchestrate the coup, the likes of which we haven't seen in modern political history, Nancy, ever the corrupt, lying leftist, actually came out and said this.
It said that he's furious at you. Is he?
Well, he knows that I love him very much.
I understand that you don't want to own this, but it is so well reported that you were the leader of a pressure campaign. Had you seen a decline in Joe Biden, and did you think he needed to step aside?
No. My whole point was, whatever he decides, but we have to have a more aggressive campaign. So he was in a good place to make whatever decision, the top of his game. Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next.
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore, Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden.
Amazing, right? Stab a guy in the back and then etch his face into a mountain. Sounds about Democrat to me. Bye-bye, Nancy. That's one less snake in the swamp. We'll be back 2.5 minutes.